What up, what up, what up, people? What up? Y'all know what it is. It's Sunday. I decided this week to go with basic black and my silver and white tie. I don't even know if it'll match, but we gonna wear it anyway. We gonna wear it anyway, y'all. Listen, so I told y'all this is week 12. This is the week where we can't play around. We cannot play around. We can't pussyfoot around and try to fit. Nope, 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 nope. All my starters this week, I'm telling you, you should expect quarterbacks 20 plus points. Um, your tight end 10 to 12 points or better. Your receivers and running backs 15 points or more. That is what you should expect. From our sleepers, it's going to be boom or bust. Boom or bust. Either they're going to have a great game or it's going to be one of them, L. Teddy, what was you thinking about games? So, yeah, that's what we should expect this week. Because we ain't got time. Listen, this is moving week. We ain't got time. Either you gonna make the playoffs or you not. I think we got in most leagues. You got 2 weeks before the playoffs. Some leagues 3 weeks. We ain't got time to be playing these games, so we gonna get right down to it. We ain't got time to be trying to parcel out the reasons why or why not. It is what it is. So yeah, I think I'm not going to be making the playoffs in one of my leagues. And listen, it's my most competitive league. And listen, it's that league where there's nothing on the waiver wire to help you. There's nothing you can do, but it's based solely on what you draft. And if you draft somebody and that player magically gets hurt, you out of there for the rest of the season. So that's what happened to me in that league. Anyway, I don't even know how my shirt and tie looks today, but hopefully it looks decent. All right, let's get down to it. It's week 12. Week 12. Oh, y'all. I don't even. Whatever. All right. So our quarterbacks for this week are first and foremost Derek Carr of the Oakland Raiders. I figure him to have a 20 plus point week this week. He's probably going to do much better than that. I figure him closer to 25, but figure him to have at least 20 points this week. Derek Carr of the Oakland Raiders, and they're going to be at the New York Jets this week, okay? At the New York Jets. The New York Jets, you know, they've already mailed it in for the season. So figure Derek Carr to get off today. Matt Ryan makes the list this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have started to turn it around a little bit with regard to their defense and their secondary over the last couple weeks. But I still figure with Tampa being at home, this being a division game, figure Matt Ryan to do well. 20 plus points. We ain't got time to play around. We got to get right down to the nitty gritty, all right? Now, our sleeper this week for quarterbacks, he's going to either be, you know, he's going to either be a great deal or he's going to be a great bust. You know, you're going to get your bang for your buck or you're going to get a bust. And that's going to be Jeff Driscoll in replacement of Matt Stafford. They are playing at the Washington Redskins. And I know that it's an away game for them, but this is the Redskins we're talking about. I told y'all, we're going for the low-hanging fruit. We are going for the points that we know we should be able to get. And if Jeff Driscoll cannot score against the lowly Washington Redskins, the problem is him. All right. So next we have tight ends. At tight end, Greg Olsen of the Carolina Panthers. Start him. They are at New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints defense. I still don't trust their secondary. Still don't trust their secondary. So start Greg Olsen at New Orleans for the Carolina Panthers, and they're at New Orleans. And then start Ryan Griffin of the New York Jets. Now, I've been watching him. He's been on my radar, and I wanted to put him on my sleeper list last week, but for some reason I didn't. Anyway, he did well last week. Ryan Griffin of the New York Jets is going to be at home versus the Oakland Raiders. Look for Ryan Griffin to do well this week. All right, he's not even a sleeper this week. He's a must start this week, Ryan Griffin. And my sleeper, I had to dig deep in my tight ends for sleepers. I like Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert. And that's Goedert for his last name, of the Philadelphia Eagles. They are at home versus the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Seattle has done a little better against the tight end. They've, most of the season they've been awful. But with them having to travel from sea to shining sea, from the left coast to the east coast, I figure, this to be a good game for Philadelphia Eagles starters. Okay? So Dallas Goedert is, and I might be saying his last name wrong, whatever, of the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Zach Ertz is still hurt. So I figure him to do well at home versus the Seattle Seahawks. For our running backs, we got Tevin Coleman of my beloved 49ers. Matt Breida, you never know. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Who knows? Start Tevin Coleman. I know that they're playing at home versus Green Bay. Green Bay secondary out there with Clinton Dix still out there. Yeah, he's still out there. So I figure Green Bay's secondary has played quite well against opposing quarterbacks, getting a lot of interceptions. And that front seven has done pretty good as well. But not so much when they're away. So I figure the secondary will travel well. I don't figure the front seven to travel as well. So I figure Tevin Coleman to do well this week. And if you want, Ross Dissly is another tight end that you may want to start this week for the 49ers. Ross Dissly. I know he wasn't on my list, but that's an extra added one for those of you who need it. Ross Dissly of the 49ers. But Tevin Coleman of my beloved 49ers at running back, and he's going to be at home versus Green Bay. Jaylen Samuels of the Pittsburgh Steelers at Cincinnati. You know Cincinnati is awful. They're horrible. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, they got to get from underneath all of the cloud of everything that went over last week. So I figure them to do well this week. Jaylen Samuels should get off with James Conner being out. Jaylen Samuels should get the ball in both the passing game and the running game. So running back Jaylen Samuels of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're going to be at the Cincinnati Bengals. That's a division game. Then I like, low-hanging fruit, Derrick Henry at home versus Jacksonville Jaguars. I know you were already starting him, but I told you all, we're not playing those games this week. We are giving you people who you know are going to give you points that we need in order to make that playoff push. Our sleepers for this week, Bo Scarborough of the Detroit Lions. I almost said Detroit Pistons. Of the Detroit Lions, Detroit Lions. With Kerryon Johnson still being hurt. And they listen. They cannot figure out the running back game. So, like I said, he's either going to be boom or bust. Bo Scarborough is either going to give you those 15 points you need, or he's going to give you 4 points. Boom or bust. Okay? And then Kareem Hunt. Quiet as it's kept. Since he came back, was he still on suspension from that incident or whatever? Anyway, he's been doing much. Each week he does better and better. And I know you got Nick Chubb out there in Cleveland, but I like Kareem Hunt. Nick Chubb is a, punch you in the mouth. Kareem Hunt can give you more of a scat back type feel and can give you, that kind of elusiveness that Miami doesn't do well against. I mean, it's Miami. the Browns are playing Miami. I mean, need I say more? So I like as a sleeper Kareem Hunt. Okay. For my receivers, I like DJ Moore of the Carolina Panthers. They're at New Orleans. You know, New Orleans secondary doesn't do well um, against receivers. Their secondary is horrible. So I like DJ Moore. You know, he has a great relationship with the quarterback out there in Carolina. You got DK Metcalf of the Seattle Seahawks. I like DK Metcalf and what he's been doing over the last couple weeks with Russell Wilson. So I actually like him in this game. I think he'll be one of the few starters for Seattle that will do well in this game. And I like Jarvis Landry of the Cleveland Browns versus the Miami Dolphins. And they're going to be at home versus the Miami Dolphins. Odell Beckham Jr. hasn't done really anything this season. And the feature wide receiver out there in Cleveland has been Jarvis Landry. And I figure Jarvis Landry, having played for the Miami Dolphins, I figure him to want to get some get back. So, I got 3 sleepers this week to help you all out with the receivers this week, okay? Our sleepers are James Washington of the Pittsburgh Steelers with Juju Smith-Schuster being out. They're going to be at home versus Cincinnati. Devontae Parker of the Miami Dolphins. Quiet as it's kept, he's the only one on that entire Dolphins team that has really put up any kind of points in the fantasy scheme, in the fantasy world. So, Devontae Parker of the Miami Dolphins, and they're going to be at Cleveland. And I'm sorry. Yes, at Cleveland. And then I like Jamison Crowder of the New York Jets. And they're going to be at home versus the Oakland Raiders. Okay? Jamison Crowder at home versus the Oakland Raiders. And those are my fantasy picks for this week. I was so entrenched, y'all, with getting my picks. I'm trying to think, did I even pick? I don't have anything on my sheet here for my fantasies. So let me think if I can think of 2 fantasies off the top of my head to give you all and give you the life abundantly that you need. Let me think, L Teddy 27. Think. Let's go with, since we're doing easy, low-hanging fruit, let's go with a Stefon Diggs of the Minnesota Vikings. He's a wide receiver. Go check him out. He's a hottie. He's a cutie. That's Stefon Diggs, Stefon Diggs is his last name. I don't even have my whiteboards here. And for our second pick, we're gonna go with, y'all see how my brain is churning and thinking. Terry McLaurin, wide receiver for the Washington Redskins. Go look them up. And that's Terry, Terry. McLaurin is Mclaurin. He's a wide receiver for the Washington Redskins. I just pulled them out of the air. Go ahead, you know how we always do. Look them up. Type in shirtless or type in their name with body or shirtless or muscles and get your life. That's all we got this week. We'll be back next week continuing on our playoff push. That's all I got. I'll see y'all back here next week. We out. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely.